Good evening. This is Akashwani and I am Nishit Kumar with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches 511 Pramod Mahajan Grameen Kaushalya Vikas Kendras in Maharashtra, says these centers will prepare youth for global opportunities. Government says price situation of essential commodities is being closely monitored and is under control. Filing of nominations for assembly elections in Mizoram and first phase of Chhattisgarh to end tomorrow, polling on the 7th of November. Around 1,200 Indians brought back home from Israel under Operation Ajay in 5 flights so far. Indian chess Grandmaster Karthikeyan Murali beats world number 1 Magnus Carlsen in Qatar Masters, and in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup, Bangladesh set a target of 257 runs for India in Pune. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said that India is creating skilled professionals not only for the country but also for the world. He was speaking at the launch of 511 Pramod Mahajan Grameen Kaushalya Vikas Kendras in Maharashtra via video conferencing. Established across 34 rural districts of Maharashtra, these Kendras will conduct skill development training programs across various sectors to provide employment opportunities to rural youth. The Prime Minister said that the demand for skilled Indian youth is growing globally.
ये कौशल विकास केंद्र युवाओं को दुनिया भर के अवसरों के लिए तैयार करेंगे। इन केंद्रों में कंस्ट्रक्शन सेक्टर से जुड़े कौशल सिखाए जाएंगे, आधुनिक तौर तरीके से खेती कैसे हो इससे जुड़ी स्किल्स सिखाई जाएगी। महाराष्ट्र में मीडिया और एंटरटेनमेंट का इतना बड़ा काम है, इसके लिए भी स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग देने वाले अनेक केंद्र स्थापित होंगे।
Referring to the increasing age profile in the demography of many countries, the Prime Minister mentioned a study that says 16 countries have planned to provide employment to above 40 lakh skilled youth.
आज पूरी दुनिया में भारत के स्किल्ड युवाओं की डिमांड बढ़ रही है। बहुत से देश ऐसे हैं जहां पर सीनियर सिटीजन्स की संख्या बहुत ज्यादा है, बुजुर्ग की संख्या बढ़ रही है और ट्रेन युवा बड़ी मुश्किल से मिल रहे हैं। इस बारे में किए गए सर्वे ये बताते हैं कि दुनिया के 16 देश करीब करीब 40 लाख स्किल्ड युवाओं को अपने यहाँ नौकरी देना चाहते हैं।
The Prime Minister said that skill centers like Pramod Mahajan Grameen Kaushalya Vikas Kendras will prepare our youth for global opportunities. The Prime Minister also emphasized the need to provide training in soft skills such as basic foreign language skills using AI tools for language interpretation, which will make them more attractive for recruiters. The Prime Minister said the poor, Dalit, backward and tribal families are benefiting from the skill schemes of the government. He also emphasized the contribution of skill development initiatives in bolstering social justice. President Draupadi Murmu today emphasized working for the holistic health of people while synchronizing the modern and traditional systems. Addressing the first convocation ceremony of AIIMS Patna, the President said the incorporation of all traditional systems like Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani and Siddha is the need of the hour. She said AIIMS is playing a pioneering role in this field. The President called upon AIIMS and other medical institutions to develop a system for the treatment of mental health-related ailments.
मैं ये भी कहना चाहूंगी कि मेंटल हेल्थ के क्षेत्र में भी एम्स जैसे प्रतिष्ठित संस्थानों को और अधिक रिसर्च करनी चाहिए और अन्य संस्थानों को भी मेंटल हेल्थ एजुकेशन और इससे संबंधित ट्रीटमेंट सिस्टम सेटअप करने के लिए गाइड करना चाहिए।
The President mentioned that the paramount aim of the medical profession should be providing quality and affordable treatment to poor. The government has said that prices of essential commodities like sugar, wheat, rice and edible oils are under control due to the measures taken by it. Talking to Akashwani News, Food and Public Distribution Secretary Sanjeev Chopra said the government is closely monitoring price situation of these commodities and will ensure that the prices remain under control during the festive season. On sugar prices, Mr. Chopra said there is an availability of 57 lakh tons of sugar in the country, which is adequate to meet the domestic demand for 2.5 months.
1 अक्टूबर से हमारा नया शुगर सीजन शुरू हुआ तो 1 अक्टूबर को हमारा 57 लाख टन हमारा स्टॉक था और ये करीबन 2.5 महीने की रिक्वायरमेंट के लिए पर्याप्त। तो उसके अलावा अब हमारा क्रशिंग शुरू होने वाली है, कई जगह थोड़ी शुरू हो भी गई है। अगले महीने के शुरू में चीनी और आनी शुरू हो जाएगी मार्केट में, उससे दाम और कम है।
On the availability of wheat, Mr. Chopra said currently there is a stock of 230 lakh tons of wheat and the government is making available this commodity to the flour mills through the open market sales scheme to check its price. On the prices of rice, Secretary Sanjeev Chopra said that due to harvesting season, fresh products will come to mandis, bringing down the prices of this food item in the coming months. Mr. Chopra said that there is enough stock of edible oils in the country and currently it is at 36 lakh tons against last year's availability of 25 lakh tons. Tomorrow is the last date for filing of nominations for assembly elections in Mizoram and the first phase in Chhattisgarh. All 40 assembly constituencies of Mizoram and 20 out of 90 assembly constituencies of Chhattisgarh will go to polls on the 7th of November. The scrutiny of nominations for these assembly constituencies in both the states will take place on Saturday, while the last date for withdrawal of nominations is the 23rd of this month. The nomination filing process for the second phase of the elections in the rest of the 70 constituencies of Chhattisgarh and all the 230 assembly constituencies of Madhya Pradesh will begin on Saturday with the issuance of a gazette notification. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a letter written to the people of Madhya Pradesh, lauded achievements of the state in various sectors. He said Madhya Pradesh is on the way to feature among the top 3 economy states in the country. Mr. Modi mentioned that 1.36 crore people in Madhya Pradesh have come out of poverty net in the state due to various social welfare schemes run by the governments at the centre and the state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate India's first regional rail rapidex from Sahibabad, Uttar Pradesh tomorrow. The first phase will cover a distance of 17 kilometers, which include a total of 5 stations including Sahibabad, Ghaziabad, Guldhar, Duhai and Duhai Depot. The trains will run at a speed of 160 kilometers per hour at an interval of 15 minutes. The Rapidex train has 6 coaches with the capacity to carry about 1,700 commuters. One coach has been reserved for women passengers. The service for general passengers will start from Saturday. This is Akashwani giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Welcome back. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today spoke to the President of the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas, and conveyed condolences for the loss of civilian lives at the Al Ahli hospital in Gaza. In a social media post, Mr. Modi said India will continue to send humanitarian assistance to the Palestinian people. He also shared concern at the terrorism, violence and deteriorating security situation in the region and reiterated India's long-standing principled position on the Israel-Palestine issue. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak reached Tel Aviv today amid heightened tension between Israel and Palestinian terror group Hamas. He met Israeli President Isaac Herzog and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and voiced support in favor of Israel's right to defend against the Hamas attack. Mr. Sunak will later travel to other countries in West Asia for further discussions. He reached the war-torn country a day after US President Joe Biden's visit as world leaders step up efforts to de-escalate tensions in the West Asia region. Around 1,200 people have been brought back from Israel under Operation Ajay in 5 flights so far. Briefing media in New Delhi, Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagh.
हम सिचुएशन का जायजा ले रहे हैं और आवश्यकता के आधार पर हम फ्लाइट्स और प्लान करेंगे। गाजा में स्थिति ऐसी है, निकलना थोड़ा मुश्किल है।
Replying to a query, Mr. Bagchi said India has strongly condemned the terrorist attack on Israel and the international community must stand together in combating terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. He also reiterated India's position on Palestine in favor of direct negotiations for establishing a two-state solution. He said India has also expressed concern about the civilian casualties and the humanitarian situation. He added that India has urged the strict observance of international humanitarian law. The spokesperson spokesperson said that India has been supporting Palestine and Palestinian refugees through significant contributions to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. He said $29.53 million has been contributed to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency between 2002 and 2023. Replying to another query on cooperation with the Maldives, the spokesperson said that India has been the first responder for the Maldives in any disaster scenario, and New Delhi looks forward to constructively engaging with the incoming administration and discussing ways to enhance bilateral relationship further. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar chaired the regional conference of India's ASEAN and East Asia ambassadors today in Singapore. In a social media post, Dr. Jaishankar said that the deliberations took stock of developments in the region and assessed their implications for India. He said that insights offered by the ambassadors are valuable inputs into policy making. Dr. Jaishankar is on a two-day official visit to Singapore till tomorrow. Today is the fifth day of Shardiya Navratri. On this day, devotees worship goddess Skandamata. She is the fifth manifestation of goddess Durga and represents compassion, motherhood, and a heart full of love. In Madhya Pradesh, Navratri is being celebrated with joy and enthusiasm across the state, including capital Bhopal. We have more from our correspondent.
All the major temples in Madhya Pradesh have been beautifully decorated for Durga Puja. Crowds of devotees are also gathering at Pitambara Peeth in Datia, Vijayasan Temple in Salkanpur and Baglamukhi Temple in Nalkheda. Extensive arrangements have been made by the administration for basic facilities and security of the devotees. Idols have also been installed in attractive pandals at various places in the state. In Bhopal itself, people are getting to see many famous temples like Ram Temple of Ayodhya, Kedarnath, Prem Mandir of Mathura and Angkor Wat, and replicas of Chandrayaan in pandals. Sanjeev Sharma, Akashvani News, Bhopal.
In Qatar Masters, the 24-year-old Indian chess Grandmaster Karthikeyan Murali beat the world's number one player Magnus Carlsen in classical chess. Karthikeyan Murali is the third Indian after Hari Krishna and Vishwanathan Anand to have beaten Carlsen. Karthikeyan's win occurred in the seventh round of the tournament, where he skillfully wielded the black pieces. With this significant triumph, he joined the ranks of other leading players such as S.L. Narayan, Javokir Sindarov, David Parvyan, Arjun Erigaisi, and Nodirbek Yakuboev, all of whom held a remarkable score of 5.5 out of 7. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur have congratulated Grandmaster Karthikeyan Murali for defeating world number one Magnus Carlsen. And in the ICC Cricket World Cup, Bangladesh have set a target of 257 runs for India at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune. In reply, India were 229 for 3 in 38 overs against Bangladesh when reports last came in. Earlier, opting to bat first, Bangladesh scored 256 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in stipulated 50 overs. For Bangladesh, Liton Das was the top scorer with 66 runs. Indian Navy's state-of-the-art advanced light helicopter ALH reached the Sri Lanka Air Force Base at Katunayake today. The helicopter will be used for the training of the Sri Lanka Air Force pilots and Sri Lanka Navy ships, marking a significant step in strengthening defense cooperation between the two countries. The program aims to familiarize SLAF pilots with the ALH and provide them with the valuable co-pilot experience, while the training team is scheduled to conduct rigorous deck landing practice on SLN ships. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches 511 Pramod Mahajan Grameen Kaushalya Vikas Kendras in Maharashtra, says these centers will prepare youth for global opportunities. Government says price situation of essential commodities being closely monitored and is under control. Filing of nominations for assembly elections in Mizoram and first phase of Chhattisgarh to end tomorrow, polling on the 7th of November. Around 1,200 Indians brought back home from Israel under Operation Ajay in 5 flights so far. Indian chess Grandmaster Karthikeyan Murali beats world number one Magnus Carlsen in Qatar Masters. And in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup, Bangladesh set a target of 257 runs for India in Pune. And that's all in the news at 9. Good night.